Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Blitzkrieg, our own strategic affairs show. Afghanistan is in the grip of chaos. But who gains? Who gains? Who loses? Today we have a very interesting panel and we are going to discuss this with our guests. Representing Pakistan, we have Brigadier Haris Nawaz. And representing India, we have General G.D. Bakshi. Gentlemen, a very, very warm welcome to our show. General G.D. Bakshi has some points, and I'm sure Brigadier Haris Nawaz too has some points that he'd like to make. And as we say, guests first. So I'll let Brigadier Haris Nawaz answer first. Sir, my question to you is this. You know, the United States of America gave more than $33 billion to Pakistan from the Coalition Relief Fund and other funds because all the material that was going to Afghanistan for the international forces there, for the US forces there, was going through Pakistan. The land routes of Pakistan were being used. But today Imran Khan says that, this is a freedom struggle and congratulations to the people of Pakistan. My apologies to the people of Afghanistan that, they've gained independence. He spoke about Zehni Azadi and he spoke about such things. If actually the people of Afghanistan are free and earlier they were in bondage, under bondage by the Americans, why did Pakistan allow its land to be used to perpetrate that bondage, sir?
You see, Gaurav, the problem is at that time, you remember, the conditions were very bad. And Americans wanted to come to Afghanistan to take revenge from Al-Qaeda, what had happened in 9/11. So Pakistan, they asked Pakistan, and then Pakistan unwillingly agreed to provide them land access because they had no land access. And we wanted the terrorism must finish. But it was not like that the way Americans went there and then they started pondering each and every inch of Afghanistan. And what result they got, that they had to left in defeat. The point is everybody should understand the historic background of the country and the people who live over there. And that's what Americans have missed out. Like Afghan, anybody who has invaded Afghan has to leave. Talk about Russia, talk about Britain, and then of course, like this. But remember, Pakistan did not get money for this. Pakistan got money for assistance and doing operations in Pakistan. This money was given for intelligence sharing and all in those respects. It was nothing to do with providing weapons or those things to Americans in Afghanistan. That was their own operation. Yes, Pakistan was doing all operations, irrespective of any Taliban or any terrorist staying in our territory, so that Pakistan's land is not used by anyone against any country. That is what is a thumb rule which Pakistan observed. And still today, we are doing the same thing. So, but the point is, the way Americans went, they did not win the hearts of mind of Taliban and Afghans. You see, they kept training the Afghan National Army. They kept pumping money for their own interest, political gains. But they never went to win the hearts of Afghan people. You see, did they do anything in education, in health department, in making roads and so many other things where people could have said yes now and then they could have got for industrialization so that people have got jobs and leave, give guns and weapons. That is it. Their psyche, the moment the boy is young, he wear a chappal, carry a gun, he go on the mountain. That psyche should have removed. They have literally failed in that. And that is the biggest fault American has done it. Had they win the hearts and minds of one people today, they should have never seen it. So this is what has happened to their debacle. And then the way they disorderly withdrew.
Right.
Then Bakshi understand what is exit strategy. Exit strategy means have a clean break and while achieving your targets. They could not form a proper political government. They could not evacuate their civilians, and they evacuated first the military, and then...
Sure. Okay, Brigadier Haris Nawaz, I'll have to interrupt you now, sir. I have to go to General G.D. Bakshi. So there are two things that Brigadier Haris Nawaz says. A, the Americans are at fault. They did not do their WAM operations properly, winning hearts and minds. They did not invest in education. They did not invest in jobs, etc., etc., etc. That is one. Number two, they left in a hurry. About part two, I would tend to agree with Brigadier Haris Nawaz. Yes, they left in a hurry, creating a mess for everybody around the world, sir, for that matter. But that the Americans did not do enough. Americans had come there with a certain aim. Now, my question to you, General G.D. Bakshi, is that if Taliban, Pakistani social media and mainstream media their head of state. I mean, Imran Khan is the prime minister. Everybody is celebrating the freedom of Afghanistan from the clutches of American imperialism. If that be so, why are Afghans leaving and desperate to leave Afghanistan? So why are people willing to face suicide bombers at the international airport, but they are desperate to leave Afghanistan, even at the peril of their lives? Who can forget the image of that person or two people falling down from the aircraft? So if the Afghan Taliban were such paragons of virtue, why are people wanting to leave? In their lakhs, in the hundreds and thousands.
Brigadier Haris Nawaz made a very passionate case for how the Pakistanis have been winning hearts and minds and how the Americans have botched it up completely. As you very rightly pointed out to him, that if the Americans had enslaved Afghanistan, the Pakistani army and intelligence organizations were part of that enslavement process. The simple fact is that Zalmay Khalilzad, the American ambassador who has conducted the Doha round of negotiations, had come up with a plan of what is called Vietnamization of Pakistan, in the sense that of Afghanistan, in the sense that the Americans would exit and the Afghan army would hold up for 6 to 8 months, giving a decent break and, letting the Americans go with their honor and reputation intact and not repeat Saigon as a la 1975. But the fact of the matter is that I'm very sorry to state our Pakistani military establishment, ISI establishment, are have a penchant for playing zero-sum games. The Americans trusted them completely to get the Taliban on the table, to get the Taliban on board and, work out this evacuation plan. But what the Pakistanis and the Taliban have done is neatly double-crossed the Americans, totally upset their timelines. They had done in 1996. They laid the money on the table to buy over a number of Afghan units that were dithering. The Americans contributed to it by withdrawing their 18,000 civilian contractors who were maintaining all the heavy weapons and equipment of the Afghan National Army. Pakistan had insisted that they not be given tanks and made into a regular conventional army, but be made into a CI force. They had insisted. And apropos the issue of hearts and minds, Brigadier Haris Nawaz, may I remind you that the Americans have spent $3 trillion in Afghanistan. India has spent $3 billion building roads, building hospitals, building parliaments and schools. The only people who have been messing around and getting the Haqqani group to blast ID after ID, kill the Afghan people, and I'm afraid is the Pakistani establishment. Today, Pakistan is showing signs of hubris and triumphalism. Can I just finish? I'll just finish. They feel they have worsted, made an ass out of the American superpower. They have humiliated in front of the whole world. Brigadier Haris Nawaz, there may be costs to this humiliation. Thank you.
Right. Brigadier Haris Nawaz, General G.D. Bakshi says that, Americans were double-crossed and, even the Talibanis were double-crossed. About Mullah Abdul Salam Zaif, who was the Talibani ambassador to Pakistan. He was arrested. I mean, every ambassador is a guest, an honored guest, and has diplomatic immunity. Since you gave Taliban diplomatic recognition, sir, you arrested the ambassador who was there on his soil, because the Afghan embassy in Islamabad is supposed to be Afghan soil, but he was arrested. And even Mullah Baradar, who's head of the political office of the Taliban, was kept for 8 or 9 years in a Pakistani jail. So, you see, cost and consequences. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. There are both parties, the Americans who feel cheated, and there are some sections of the Taliban senior sections of the Taliban who feel cheated by the Pakistanis. Do you think, sir, there will be cost and consequences, Brigadier Harris Nawaz, from both these parties?
You see, the point is, let's see, Americans are idiots, I would say. If such a superpower can be cheated by one country, that means they are not politicians. They have no right to rule the world. The point is, they have their own intelligence agencies. Pakistan went to an extent to support them and to accommodate them that we handed over these investors because of so many pressures. And we never wanted that Americans should feel that Pakistan is not sincere and we're not supporting them at all. We provided all sorts of information, intelligence sharing. We carried out a lot of operations in that we lost about 80,000 civilians, a lot of troops, and along with $150 lost, $1 billion we had lost. The point is, Americans' fault was there that they did not go for educating the people and providing them jobs. You see, it's a big socio-economic problem. When a young boy he brought up and he knows the weapons and that nothing else, so he will do the same thing. What they've given and sent to schools, nothing was done. They kept doing politicizing, training the army, spending a lot of $1 trillion on the money. You have been training up one national army, but they had no motivation. They have nothing to move. They could not develop confidence in leadership. And then remember one thing. Whether they are Afghan National Army or Taliban or Northern Alliance, nobody accepts foreign troops over there. They were waiting for the opportunity. And the moment opportunity came and American troops left, they all joined hands together to work comprehensively together. And that is the fault of Americans. Had they institutionalized a proper, inclusive political interim government, then things would have been much more and it would have been orderly withdrawn.
Absolutely. Brigadier Harris Nawaz, thank you for your comments. I'll go back to General G.D. Bakshi. General G.D. Bakshi, sir, now there is this terror organization called the Islamic State Khorasan. Now, Islamic State Khorasan is a Pakistani organization because the head Faruqi is a Pakistani, sir. He belongs to Rawalpindi, I'm told, in Pakistani Punjab. How big is the Pakistani footprint in Islamic State? Because, you know, Pakistan might say that this is a conspiracy by the Americans. The Jews did it, the Indians did it, every XYZ did it. But the fact of the matter is that the people who run Islamic State Khorasan are Pakistanis. I mean, they're not Indian citizens, nor Americans, nor Jews. They're Pakistani citizens. And these Muslims are killing Muslims. I mean, 99% of the people or 95% of the people who died in the Kabul attacks were essentially Muslims, innocents, who had nothing to do with either the Islamic State or the Taliban. They just wanted to get out of Afghanistan. Now, my question to you, General G.D. Bakshi, is that why is Pakistan doing this? What does Pakistan gain? They have to take responsibility for the fact that Faruqi is a Pakistani citizen.
Gaurav, what does Pakistan gain? Pakistan has been trying to ensure that Afghan nationalism does not consolidate into a strong, viable nation state on Pakistan's western borders. They have used Islamic extremism to destroy the Pashtun entity, to destroy the 200-year-old state of Afghanistan. The amount of misery that Pakistan has caused to the Afghans is nobody's business. Pakistan went in at the CIA's behest with 80,000 guest mujahideen and others and their own to fight the Soviets. The bulk of the heavy lifting was done by the Tajiks of Ahmad Shah Massoud, whom the Pakistani ISI gave no weapons. They made sure that he was kept out of it. The Uzbeks of Dostam and Tajiks, they did the bulk of the fighting against the Soviets. The Afghan gangs were just frigging around. The simple fact is that the Soviets left in 1989. And what has happened since? Brigadier Harris Nawaz, who is responsible for that destruction 3 times over of the Afghan nation state? You are talking of freedom having come to Afghanistan. Brigadier Harris Nawaz, I hope you are sensitive enough to watch the TV screens, to watch the sights of the Afghans voting with their feet to tell you what they think of you and your infliction of the Taliban. They have been hanging to the wheels of the C-17 Globemasters and the C-130 falling out of the skies. You just had the blast carried out to tell the Americans to vamoose, to give a broad hint to the Americans that they are not welcome beyond 31st August.
General G.D. Bakshi, sir.
You've done that.
My next question is to Brigadier Haris Nawaz, formerly of the Pakistan Army, sir. The question is this. The Pakistanis did that in Kashmir as well. You know what General G.D. Bakshi mentioned. You had the Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front, which spoke about quote-unquote independence from India, and Pakistan supported it. And then JKLF woke up one morning and said, we also want independence from Pakistan. And that is when the leaders started getting killed by the Pakistanis. And then you have groups like the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the Jaish-e-Mohammed, none of which has Kashmir in their names. These are pan-Islamic, pan-Arabic names. Similarly, what General G.D. Bakshi sir is saying is that, you see, introduction of the Islamic State Khorasan is another ploy by the Pakistanis to shut down Pashtun nationalism. Sir, if I've read your question correctly, General G.D. Bakshi sir, Afghan nationalism / Pashtun nationalism, because even the last time when the Taliban were in power, 1996, they did not accept the Durand Line. And this is something that really spooks the Pakistani establishment, the deep state of Pakistan, that, they will not accept this. A very quick answer from you, Brigadier Haris Nawaz, and then I'll go to General G.D. Bakshi and close the show.
You see, the point is why Pakistan should go against Pashtuns. Pakistan has majority of Pashtuns in Pakistan. Number two, Islamic movement of Khorasan is in Afghanistan. Pakistan is hunting for them. Pakistan don't want any non-state actor acting anywhere against Pakistan or using Pakistani land for operating in any other country. One, Kashmir, please do remember, Pakistan doesn't need to do anything. What you're doing in Kashmir, you're antagonizing Burhan Wani, you have killed. Now that movement has come up, and that is what is happening. And then, of course, you have all the fencing all around. Even a pin can be pinned, a small pin can be pinpointed at night from your border area because your lights are so on. Third thing is that where General Bakshi talked about blast. Why Pakistan should go carry out blast in Afghanistan? Which is the most peaceful country we want in Afghanistan is Pakistan. We want peace. We want nothing should be, they should have inclusive political government over there. The Afghan people have all the right to select their own political government, and Pakistan should accept it.
Absolutely. Brigadier Haris Nawaz, sir, I'm going to have to cut you short, sir. I'll go to General G.D. Bakshi for a quick answer, then I'll close the show, sir. General G.D. Bakshi, sir, Brigadier Haris Nawaz says, he mentioned about the killing of Burhan Wani, which was good. I mean, he's dead and that's good for all of us. But the fact is that they took advantage of Burhan Wani, sir. They took advantage of Burhan Wani. Stamp nikale the Burhan Wani ke naam pe, gaane gaye the, shamiyane bajaye the. Now they have discarded Burhan Wani, sir. Now Burhan Wani does not figure. Your comments, closing comments, General G.D. Bakshi.
He does figure.
No, I just like to mention one very important facet about Afghanistan, Gaurav, if I may. I hope Brigadier Haris Nawaz realizes Afghanistan is a rentier state. It lacks the integral resources to sustain a nation state. These resources have always come from outside. The British provided it first, then the Russians, then the Americans, and then the Saudis helped them in the time of the Taliban. The simple fact is that it requires $3 to $8 billion per year to sustain a nation state in Afghanistan. So far, the Americans and the NATO were doing it. India had pitched in $3 billion. You see, do you expect the Pakistani shattered economy to sustain a state in Afghanistan? You are giving us homilies about how the Americans didn't, win hearts and mind and didn't create jobs. We will just wait and watch as the jobs which Pakistan will create in Afghanistan. The only jobs that you have is international terror. Of that, you will be doing plenty, Brigadier Haris Nawaz, and it will come back to haunt you. This is my
Thank you very much, sir. General G.D. Bakshi, sir, I'm sorry, I have absolutely run out of time, sir. General G.D. Bakshi, sir, I've run out of time. Thank you very much, General G.D. Bakshi, sir, and Brigadier Haris Nawaz for joining us. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this episode of Blitzkrieg from my team and I at the studios. Jai Hind.